All right, let's do this. Who's ready to do this? Let's do this. Uno, dos, tres. Vamos. Man, I got so many canvases around town. I don't even know where to start. But we are going to do this regardless of no matter what. I got a 12 by 16 canvas right here. Oh yeah! Bam! There it is. I got a 12 by 16 canvas right here. I'm ready to do some damage. Mucho damage. Let's do this. You guys ready for a little art je ne sais quoi? Let's do it. This is going to be, what is it called? Well, you guys will see. I mean, what do I even explain it and set out the expectation? I don't even think it's fair. It's not even fair to set out an expectation, because then it defeats like the whole purpose of the thing. You know, I just don't think it's not muy bueno. Maybe we can do something like this. Yeah, something like this. I'm just outlining some stuff right here. Because, I mean, why not? No? Those of you who are into the abstract stuff, you guys are going to like this. Those of you who are like, oh my God, that's totally wrong. You're going to hate it, and it's all right. I've been hated on before. It's very good. It's okay. But if you are into the loose brush abstract type of dealio, then you might just want to stick around. Stick around. Here we go. I feel like that Peter Pan ride. Here we go. All right. So one of the things here, one of the fun je ne sais quoi is to kind of just let the paint do the thing. The more you want to control the paint, the more you want to, I don't know, like the more you think about what you're doing when you're doing loose brush work, the harder it's to paint. It's the weirdest thing. I keep telling people this. You know, just don't think about what you're doing. They're like, oh my God, it's so difficult. Of course it is. It takes practice. It takes many years of practice to become muy loco like me. But you have to do it. You have to do it. You know, it's not easy, but it's super fun once you start figuring out. Really, you're in a fight against your own mind. That's really what's happening. It's very Eastern philosophy type of deal. You're just fighting yourself when you're painting loose brush work. You're only really fighting your own resistance. And yes, I mean, some training would do great. Some realism, training would probably be really good. Why not? The thing is that you're going to be tempted over and over to touch that, to try to be realistic when you're painting, quote unquote. You're gonna be tempted to be doing that, and that is not muy bueno. The reason why I'm saying that is because when you paint loose brush work, you are using some of the stuff that you know, but you're also trusting a lot of what you don't know. And so it's a little game of allowing and utilizing what you know. And it can be a mindfuck. It really can. I'm not gonna lie. It really can be one of those things where you're like, all right, do I trust myself here or do I? And that's when the fun begins, when you start realizing that you don't really need to figure anything out. All you have to do is just trust yourself. And the less you trust yourself, the more resistance you will experience. Therefore, the more disappointment you will experience in your painting. And it happens. It happens a lot. You start experiencing a lot of disappointment in your artwork due to the lack of letting go. And it's a sad thing because you know that you're good, but you keep fighting it. It's sort of like it really is a reflection of the inner self. Like you're perfect, but somehow you don't want to realize that, so you keep messing up. it really, and it's due to the fact that you're always in learning mode, and that's good. But there has to come up a time where you don't want to be learning necessarily. You want to start applying, because there is time for learning, but when you're applying, it's just applying. Oh, my pleasure, elbow_queen. When it's time to apply, it's time to apply. It's not time to learn. And it's a hard little thing to get. Because most of us are used to... See, an artist, I think the problem that artists face is that they don't stop learning. It's both a blessing and a curse. It's more of a curse than a blessing, actually. Because the reality is that if you continue to create artwork, look, a piece of paper. If you continue to create artwork, you continue to learn. It's very much by osmosis that you're going to continue to learn, regardless of. The fundamentals, they are what they are. If you didn't grab them, you didn't grab them. I grabbed some of it. I didn't grab them like many other artists out there. Right? Some artists devote their lives to grabbing not just the fundamentals, but tedious things that to me just make no sense as an artist, but it makes sense to someone else depending on what they do, right? Just like to somebody else, this wouldn't make sense at all. This would be like, I'm totally crazy. The problem again is that we keep trying to learn, and it is such a fucking pain because it's such donkey work. Like, when do you get to paint? When do you have everything that you need in order to create your artwork? You got to ask yourself that at some point as an artist. And chances are you got to ask yourself that often. Maybe stop asking it, maybe like start digging into it, being like, I think I'm ready. Why do I keep feeling like I'm not ready? It's got to do more with level of deservingness and self-worth, to be honest. That's why I keep telling you guys, this whole thing about being an artist, it's really, you're just battling against your own paradigms. It's really a battle to accepting yourself. And it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. This is why we see artists that we are like, oh my God, especially in our younger years, we're like, oh my God, the artist. Someone's probably thinking that about me right now. Such a shitty artist. I can't believe that they're doing that. Blah, 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 blah. I know. And yet I still managed to make over, multiple six figures a year selling my artwork. But that's the thing. That's the problem. That we see other artists and we're like, I could paint better than that. So we're never enough. We're never enough. Look, I paint this. This is as good as I paint right now where I'm standing in this time. Yeah, I could sit there and try to do something like, I don't know, realistic and I don't know, like spend all this time on it and concentration on it and whatnot. But that's not my deal, right? My deal is loose brush, is relax, is is the next brushstroke and the next brushstroke and the next brushstroke. It's so almost like a weaving, right? I like to see it almost like a weaving of colors. And if that's your deal, whatever deal your thing is, but you don't accept yourself, it doesn't matter how good of an artist you become. You're always going to have a problem. It doesn't matter how good of an artist. It doesn't matter that you paint well or that people praise you or that, you know, I don't know, that grandma wants to hang your paintings on her fridge. None of it matters because you're always going to be unsatisfied. And there's going to be this feeling of I'm not good enough. Always. It's never going to go away. Being an artist is such a donkey work. Like you're always creating work. You're always like doing this, right? Some sort of this. Like it's all right here, right? You're always doing this and this and this and you know, you're always moving. Sometimes you go like this because you get tired. Sometimes you go like this. Sometimes you go like this. You're always moving, right? You're always moving because the whole hand, you know, at some point it gets tired. If you do this for 10 hours a day, of course it's going to be, you know, it's going to be something. The problem is not that. That is not the problem. That's what a lot of artists think the problem is. The problem is that it's already a lot of work. And you are going to get good regardless of. As the years go by, this is not like basketball where Michael Jordan said, if you practice at the wrong thing, you will continue to do the wrong thing, right? Art doesn't work that way. There is no one system. There is no one way. So that doesn't apply to art. But yet artists keep thinking of bullshit like that. I know because I keep falling in the same place, you know, and it's because we don't allow ourselves to be okay. We think that there's something wrong with us, that we always have to get better. Oh my God, I have to get better. I have to get better. No, you don't. You don't have to get better. You're as good as you are where you're standing. But we don't accept that. So it's almost like sadly, it's like we sabotage ourselves. You know, because we're never good enough. So if you're never good enough, then everything's fine. You're never good enough. You know? If you're never good enough, you're never good enough. So no matter what you do, you're never going to be good enough. There's a difference between that and recognizing that, oh my God, as the years go by, I keep getting better and better. That's natural. That's natural progression, right? But the feeling of always not being good enough, not there's something wrong. I need to practice more. Because I'm not good enough yet. That feeling of I'm not ready. I can't go into a gallery. I can't sell my work. That feeling around that has nothing to do with your artwork. That's all personal. That feeling it's a crutch. It doesn't allow us to really be ourselves. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing. And I've come to understand that no matter where like the Buddha used to say, right? Or the Buddha said, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, dukkha follows you. This unsettlingness, this feeling of you're not good enough, it's horrible. It's a fucking nightmare. You know? But we have to go through it. We have to go through it. Because I bet many of you that are watching this, you guys are great artists, and you're probably thinking like, "Oh my God, I wish I was good enough." And you're like fantastic. People already love what you do. They buy your stuff. You have friends and family. The only reason why you only have friends and family admire it is because probably you only show it to friends and family. I bet you if you show it to more people in the world, more people will love it. But the only reason is because you only show it to friends and family. So that's why. But anyways, this turned into more than just you get more than just a painting here when you visit my art studio via the Instagram. Check it out. Look at that. Yeah. San Fran. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and keep going at it. Something good needs to come out of it. It will. All right. Take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.